Years ago, in the interiors of Russia, in a small village, there lived a young boy along with his mother. They were extremely poor, and because of various reasons, one was his father ended his life because of huge debts piled on due to a failed small business. Due to all these reasons, this young boy and his mother were the subject of a lot of derision and ridicule from people in the village. Because of them being poor and because of the unfortunate history within the family, especially pertaining to the young boy's father, a lot of people made fun of them. In fact, when the young boy went to school, the other kids made fun of him. His mother managed doing menial jobs at other people's houses whenever she got an opportunity. They had a small piece of land on which she grew vegetables, and this was the only way of sustenance for the young boy and his mother. So they lived life in a very tough manner. More than poverty, it was the criticism and being subject to a lot of jokes and a lot of ridicule, which was taking a toll on them, and they were extremely sad about it. Unfortunately, they couldn't do much about it. So, as time passed, the boy grew, and the torture from other schoolmates just kept continuing. So, whenever the other kids used to make fun of him, he used to never react, but he used to feel very bad. So, they used to tease him on his situation at home, that is, the poverty that he was undergoing. Also, possibly, some of them passed insensitive remarks over his dad ending his life and having taken debts from a lot of people before he ended his life. So, all of this was affecting the young boy, and he one day decided that he's going to leave his village and move to Moscow, which is the capital of Russia, to seek employment opportunities. He felt that he has had enough of his village and the villagers who were always poking fun at him and his mother. So one day he packed his bag and he just planned to leave. Now, this young boy was brilliant in academics. In spite of all these issues, he still did well in his studies, and he definitely had the spark and the capability of someone to do really well in studies and move ahead in life. So he told his mom that, Mother, I am planning to leave this village. What we get in this village is only derision and hate. So I want to move to Moscow, and I know that I will get some job or the other. So his mother said to him, Son, you may leave now, you may leave your studies, and you may also get a job in Moscow. However, if you don't have education, you will continue doing the same job that you get now for the next 30 years. So my advice to you is accept the situation. You'll have to be a bit tolerant. However, invest your time and effort in studies. I would support you in whatever way possible. You know that I'm trying my very best, and with whatever little means we have, let us do our very best, and you should continue your education rather than running away from this village, and possibly your life may go nowhere after that. So the boy understood his mother's point. At the same time, he was also really sad about what was going around him, because there was no one other than his mother and another lady teacher at the school who were supportive of him. He practically had no friends as well, because the entire village made fun of this boy and his mother. So as time passed, the boy went on to get his basic education, that is equivalent to 12th grade. And as I mentioned, he had a supportive teacher at school, and this teacher used to guide him from time to time. This teacher was a science teacher. She realized that this young boy had the aptitude for the medical field, and as he was nearing the completion of his 12th grade, the teacher informed him about a national medical test and asked him to apply for that. So he applied and appeared for this particular test, and due to his academic strength and his intellectual capability, he ended up topping this particular examination. In fact, he got admitted to the topmost institution in medicine in the country, which was based in Moscow. And understanding about his background, the institution, considering that he was a topper, gave him full scholarship. Also, his living expenses were covered by a prominent wealthy businessman when this individual came to know that this boy has gone through so much of difficulty or he comes from abject poverty. So, after he got admission in this medical institution, the boy left for Moscow. He started his medical education and he did really well there as well. In the meanwhile, his mother continued in the village doing small tasks at various people's houses and also doing a bit of cultivation of vegetables in a piece of land that they had. So once he completed his education, he got a job in one of the top institutions or the top hospitals in Moscow, which was possibly the number one hospital in the entire country. And once he got this job, he called his mom to reside with him in Moscow. And because of his capability, because of his talent, and also attitude towards life, he did really well in a very short period of time. In his field, he became one of the most respected and known doctors. He climbed up the hierarchy in the hospital that he was working, joined as a junior doctor, and went on to head the department, which was primarily focused on controlling epidemics. So one day, at his home, which was a villa, the same lady teacher who taught him came to meet him. So he was surprised to know that the teacher actually came to meet him, and he offered her coffee and possibly snacks. And as they kept talking, his mom, the young boy who's now become a man, he had his mom also join the discussion. That is when the teacher mentioned to this doctor that there is a certain intense form of bird flu epidemic which has broken out in the village that he was originally from. And unfortunately, a lot of people died because of it. This village being in the interiors of Russia, it has been very difficult for help to come by. In fact, there is a small clinic and a doctor there. However, this particular doctor and the medical staff have not been able to do their very best. Also, they requested the health department to send in more doctors or more support. Unfortunately, because of this particular village being in the interiors, no good doctors were willing to come. Plus, people also thought if this particular disease is contagious, then it's a high risk factor. So this teacher told this doctor about the plight and requested him to see, considering his stature and his reputation in the medical field, to see whether something can be done. So she requested him to help her and the other villagers. So the doctor didn't say anything. However, in his mind, somewhere he thought that it's good that now the villagers have got their own punishment. So I couldn't do much, but possibly nature has punished them for whatever these people have done against my mother and me. So the teacher left, and then the doctor's mother, who was sitting just besides him, asked him what does he plan to do. So the doctor just replied back, nothing. The villagers never supported me. In fact, they kept abusing you and me. So there's nothing I want to do now, and I just leave them to their fate. So the doctor's mother understood the situation. She knew the pain that the doctor had to go as a young boy because of the derision and ridicule from the villagers. However, she also had a perspective which she shared with the doctor. She said, "You've been through a difficult time out there in the village. However, understand that you are a doctor, you have the responsibility to save lives. That is the Hippocratic oath that you have taken. You will need to help people, and that's a part of your profession. The second part is, I know your mind yearns for revenge. However, what sweeter revenge than you going and treating the people who criticized you and made fun of you? I don't think there is anything better than that." So, hearing his mother's words, he had a change of heart and he decided to mobilize a team of doctors and go to his village. Because of his reputation and his standing in the medical fraternity, the friends and people whom he invited to join him to go to this particular village, everyone was ready. So no one turned down the offer. In case someone was busy at that point of time, they said, "I will join the team possibly in a matter of a few days." And so this boy, this doctor, and his team of fellow doctors went to this particular village. And because of the kind of doctors they were, and in fact, as I mentioned, this particular doctor, who was a resident of this village till a few years back, he was a specialist in controlling epidemics. So he got on to the work along with his fellow doctors immediately, and within a period of a few weeks, he was able to control the situation, and the number of deaths were minimized and came to a point where everyone recovered well after that. And that was when the villagers also realized their folly in the past. The kind of hate that they directed towards this doctor when he was a young boy and his mother. And they, after everything came under control, the villagers came together and apologized to this particular doctor, because had he not been there, then possibly the entire village would have been wiped out because of this particular epidemic. So the doctor, of course, by then his mother also had joined him in the village, and he then realized the words that his mother said, that you want to take revenge, there are better ways. So you don't need to torture someone for revenge. You can also take a sweeter form of revenge, and that is exactly what he did. He was really happy that he could save the lives of his villagers, and at the same time, the villagers also understood their folly and came and apologized to him. So this is a story which brings to the fore that you don't always need to react to situations. You need to stick to following your goals, put your efforts. There would be people around you who will criticize you and make fun of you. Nevertheless, you just need to keep moving on. So there is a quote which I had heard some time back. So it seems a bit strange to hear. However, what the intent of this quote is, I feel, or I assess, it's absolutely bang on. It says, kill your critics with your success and bury them with your smile. So I'll repeat it: kill your critics with your success and bury them with your smile. So although this quote may border a bit on violence, but then the intent or the focus of this particular quote is definitely not with the wrong intent. So I request you to take it in the right way, not the wrong way. So that's how it is in life. The way you react to situations, and irrespective of whatever goes around you, you just need to keep your head held high and do whatever you need to do. And at the same time, look at teaching your critics or detractors a sweet lesson, not through reacting or giving them back to them, rather ensuring that your own success makes them realize their folly in criticizing you. So this is what I wanted to share with you. Wish you a very nice day ahead. Thank you.